Hey y'all, welcome. Happy to have y'all, my lovely stars. Sorry for the delay. It is May the 4th, and so of course my day was busy. Always gotta make sure I do stuff for May the 4th. To be fair, I did not plan this last thing that kept me an extra 20 minutes. Oof, 26 minutes. Hey! Uh, but yeah. Sorry for being so late. An old college friend surprised me by being in town, and was like, I couldn't just turn away, and it was nice catching up. Huh. But yes, well, I see I've got plenty in the house. Wow, that's a lot in the house for of the devil. Y'all are starved for this toxic Yuri content. Uh, so we'll get that started. Well, while I'm pulling up, I'll go through the usual. Where to follow. And if you want to see more stuff like what I do, like me. If you go to 50, then been I have been legally obligated to do a Pokemon Smash or Pass. Yeah, you won't though. And got a public Discord if you want to know when stuff's coming up. I will usually, you know, talk about stuff, do some, give you info if you want to keep up to date, various things. I post some extra stuff there, you know. All right. And ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. This is why I need to test to make sure. One moment. Settings, windowed. Full screen windowed, yep. That'll do. No, it won't, maybe. Huh. Then just windowed mode then. How about that? That work? Okay, y'all. What if I try restarting it now that it's going to open up in windowed mode, I hope. It's not letting me select the window for streaming. So I'll get it. Just give me a moment. Huh. Okay, so that one's not working. What about... Aha! Found it. Got it. It's apparently not encoded in the same way as other games, so the window wasn't registering. What? I got it. That's what matters. Ready. Yeah. Oh shit. Scarlet's gone. Alright. This is a work of fiction. Well, it's slightly concerning that they have to tell me that right up front. New case. Bonuses. Socials? That's just gonna pull up the, like, the developer social... Whatever. I'm just gonna... Let's look at the controls first, see what I need to... Nope. Controls not option. Alright, new case it is. Yep. I have episode 0 and episode 1. We'll be doing both of those today, and then if episode 2 comes out at some point... Honestly, controls are DLC. Yeah. If episode 2 comes out while we're doing the Phoenix Wright series, whatever, once we finish a game, I'll take a break and we'll play episode 2, and that'll be the deal for whatever episodes come out, whenever that happens. But yes, let's start with episode 0. Alright, alright. If I push enter? Rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street, and a slight blunting of the night's ambience. Toxic Curie. Thank you, Scarlett. Thanks for stopping in. Hope your night goes well. Blah, blah, blah. Emphasis on slight. Lights, camera, and constant noise. This city's got insomnia with the uneven heart rate to prove it. Oh shit, is that why my heart rate is so fucked up? Oof. I don't think I'm necessarily a fan of learning some of my insomnia symptoms from a video game. Whoops. There's no escaping the secondhand nervous energy of it all, but I'm plenty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting on the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. Fair girl. Because if I'm not too careful, this client of mine's gonna die in jail. Hey, girl. Morgan. Aw, hey. I think I know why you like it now, Morg. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. Because this whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown, and always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon or hollow, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's light shining on every last pixel of the map. And someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity. Anonymity is scarce. And criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at public defender work, no matter the hour. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark, quiet corners left in the whole world, well, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Not that there's much else I can do until... Okay, well, getting a phone call, I guess. Oh, my phone. Ooh, one of them see-through texts. Currently texting with system or state.system. So is there like a state texting? I don't know. I mean, you are a public defender. Whatever. Yeah. Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You are expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. There's a period right there. I almost didn't see it. Arrive at least 15 minutes early. I'll try. Less than 3. Looks like the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now. 90 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. If they're really smart, they'll have used that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Alright. Of the Devil, Episode 0. And he shall appear. Who's he and why is there... When do we get to see the he-him lesbian? I was promised Yuri, so I'm going to assume everyone's a woman. Disable tutorials, you can turn them back on in settings. Nah, I should keep the tutorials on. Suspect not found. Oof. Precinct 254. Please use our universal contact number at string not found. Well, someone's got to program this better. This desk is programmed for check-in and information only. If you are experiencing an emergency, please use our... Okay. That's the... Okay. Gotta run. It's a goddamn ghost town. Nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. Ooh, nice. Let me make sure the sound's balanced right. Hey, y'all, the sound's balanced right. Can you actually hear the sound properly? I realized that's since the game, since I had to use a workaround, I realized I should check the mixer. Okay, good. Sound good. Okay. I'm here about homicide. High clearance rates, be damned. You'd think they'd treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever. If I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. Ah, always. Always. If I click on this, oh, hey, cool. Stuff. The log. Okay, that's good. I do accidentally overclick stuff sometimes. Nope. I didn't know what the button did. Blah. But whatever. If I'm... Yeah. And I should take my time. Yep. There. Terms. Holograms. Noun. A 3D image formed by light. Enabled by specialized projectors or mediums like conductive resin, holograms are graphic displays that appear three-dimensional to the human eye when viewed from any part of a face range of at least 180 degrees, an effect known as the Waterston illusion phenomenon. Originally patented in late 19... I don't know why my brain immediately started reading 19. Late 20... Well, it's because I'm immersed. Originally patented in late 2059, Waterston's phenomenon was initially used exclusively in the adult entertainment industry. Holograms did not become widely adopted as an advertising tool until the much maligned holiday season of 2061, after which laws restricting the presence of holograms in public spaces were passed with uncharacteristically universal support. We're sorry to see that we've installed a subroutine on this device to disable and highlight our recommended premium external links. We understand your drive for personalization, but unauthorized tech impacts our ability to serve you the best, most relevant information possible. Consider disabling your subroutine so we can serve you a more tailored browsing experience. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Low tech. Oh, what? Hello. Okay, lock phone, backlog. Why is this a different interface than we had just a moment ago? Search terms. That's what we just had. Okay. Store. I have no money. Necomorg? Damn. There's a demo. I gotta see if I can still play that. Free. Free. Bought free stuff. Yeah, cosmetics, I know, but there was free stuff. Now, how do I uncustomize? Because I actually don't, oh, well, I guess, okay, these are the default. I'm already a white screen, I already don't have a charm. Duh. That's why they were free. All right, profiles. Nothing. Reading list? Nothing. Evidence? Nothing. Lock phone. Articles. Profiles, articles? Did I? Reading list, okay. Okay. Why is everything in black and white now? When did that happen? Did I not pay attention? Okay, whatever. Yeah. Information's like cash in my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can't poke around and shake some change loose. Press escape or click the phone icon in the up top left to access the pause menu where you can save, load, or check settings. Okay, escape also does that, cool. You can toggle on auto text advance with the A key or check reread previous lines with the L key. Ooh, L, okay. Use mouse to look around for points of interest that you can click on, or press space to find them automatically. Oh, cool. You'll earn credit for investigating anything and everything you can. Credit is both a measure of your information gathering skills and your own credibility. So you don't go broke. Fair. Okay. Whoa. Let's just... Oh! The phone more and less opaque. Cool. Let's actually drop that down just a smidge. There we go. Okay, I still kind of want to turn that down a little more. Jeez. All right, I think that's good. If it's a little too low, let me know. I'll bump it back up some, but that's where my preferences go with this kind of sound. All right. The medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling the dice every time it falls off the sofa. Could probably nail the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. Shit. Of course, the technology is that bad these days. At least it's not broken. Oh, cool. And, well, at least it's not broken entirely. Even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through its notifications. Looks like the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. But there's a few missing persons, too. 1 year of silver plan coverage, courtesy of Caduceus, as a reward for any... Oof! They're rewarding health insurance? It's not just a money payout. They're just, health insurance is... Oh, that's a bad sign. Oh, no. Silver's no joke. Families must be getting desperate. High-traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishing, multiple screening stations. Pragmatic brutalism, so textbook it could teach freshman-level architecture. You can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles. The civil planning equivalents of battle scars. From a fight won so long ago that they're starting to look ridiculous. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built, but walking in here now, with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice ward for heavy-handedness. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into a museum. Though museums tend to feel expensive and clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department's more like an attic. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during a traumatic event, memory formation is blah blah blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel, and all during billable hours. But there's no room to sow doubt anymore, not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as a video recording, assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. Well, ain't that dystopic for you? A data pad, I'll bite. Even when they're more advertisement than article, they can still be informative, in a flowery, roundabout, corporate propaganda sort of way. Heads up! Keep an eye out for articles in the environment. They offer insight on the world around you and credit towards your investigation. Articles are added to your phone's reading after you first read them. Choose the proper takeaway after reading them, and you'll earn additional bonus credit, too. Alright, cool. We're gonna read this, then. Subway fixes axe. City to refocus on canopy. Declaring the subway tunnels to be irreparably flooded. City engineers announced this week that all plans to drain and repair the system were being suspended indefinitely. Saltwater damage to sensitive electronic cabling and erosion of key tunnel fixtures were cited as reasons for why 89% of the subway system was evaluated as critically compromised or worse. Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure system that weaves together trams, highways, walkways, and skyscrapers into the canopy, high above our city streets. So a reverse subway, so subway is put in the sky? Okay. I get, well, trams, highways, and walkways. Really hope it's not mostly just the highway bit. Reactions to the announcement could be characterized as blasé. It's been years since the subways last ran, and decades since they last ran on schedule. Most citizens have long since given up hope on them ever making a comeback. Online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most commenters and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. As one of the Canopy's major backers in City Hall, Long has often found himself at odds with a small but vocal group of critics that consider it to be an eyesore and an amplifier of light and noise pollution. Well, yeah, you've got cars above you. Of course it's going to light pollute for everyone who's not, on top of the skyscrapers presumably above it. We're making a Coruscant here is what it sounds like. This is gonna just be layers and layers of city, So hey, give it a century or so, and the Canopy might be a mid-level subway, just. Huh. It's one of the Canopy's major. We already read that. And with Long having stepped away from his political duties in order to more fully cooperate with investigators, for the first time in nearly 20 years, the typically rock-steady political foundation of the Canopy was looking uncharacteristically shaky going into this week. But with the subway now officially no longer an option, people and corporations alike have little choice for how they complete their morning commute. However, not all reactions to the news have been negative. At least a few bold individuals see this latest report as vindication and possibly even a rallying cry. Already considered by many to be a rising star in infrastructure solutions abroad, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with their radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi pod. Personal submarine... Is most of the world underwater? Okay, sure, whatever. Personal submarine taxi pods. That's gotta be expensive. I can make use of the flooded subway oh, it's a Hyperloop. It's a fucking Hyperloop. Fuck off. Nope. Flood subway tunnels, but momentum stalled when their first prototype of the city came in at disappointing 3,359% over budget. Yeah, it's Hyperloop. Fuck this. The one council member was quoted as calling their system mind-boggling, wasteful, and impractical in the extreme. In light of this latest announcement, Subterra has proudly declared their intent to resubmit their proposal package. Across the entire globe, coastal cities like ours have struggled to find civil engineering answers to rising sea levels and subterranean flooding that satisfies financial, practical, and aesthetic concerns. Historically, most scientists have attributed this increase in sea level to climate change, though there are dissenting voices. Water rises and falls all the time for reasons we do not fully understand. It appears that you have 0 free articles remaining this month. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading the stories that matter. Yeah, okay, well, fuck you. Ballsy of them, putting the paywall there, as if I'd reach for my wallet after having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I get the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on the Canopy. There'll be increased scrutiny surrounding the Canopy now that there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget, lines the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment, not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chummed the waters. Alright, I've taken in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. Hi! Booted up fine, so far so good. Good morning! Morgan, here for the public defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Greeting! Please stand still for a moment. I wouldn't call Intake Hollows charming, more like harmless. But that's probably what the designers were aiming for. I appreciate the you just rushed through before they asked the questions, and then it still asked, and then took a moment and was like, oh, yep, no, you said what I wanted. We're processing it. Do that all the time with those fucking AI ordering boxes that they have at fast food sometimes now. Ugh. That's probably what the designers were aiming for. Oh, well, but to be fair, aren't a lot of those fast food order boxes actually just a person behind it anyway? But hey, it's a person on the other side of the world, so whatever. People don't mind a quirk or two in their text so long as it never speaks out of turn. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing you. Could you please provide your name and date of birth? So far, so good, was it? I mean, ID was asked, right? I mean, what our ID is a thing, but like, is it my face actually? Whatever. Say, why don't you just scan my ID card? Great! Now, can you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? My birthday's on the damn ID card, and my profile. I'd have to be a world-class airhead to get this question wrong. No problem. My birthday's... Where's my ID? Oh, cool. Morgan, date of birth, December 26th. Aww. The holiday seasons must be a nightmare. Height, 175 centimeters. Weight. Blood type, AB negative. Good blood type. Occupation, criminal defense attorney. Likes, puzzles, smoking, wooden furniture. Don't smoke on the wooden furniture, though, just in case. Dislikes, commercials, hairdressers, jogging. Fair. Honestly, who likes commercials or jogging? Talent, can fall asleep in any position. Coffee, decaf, drink, whiskey sour. Are your coffee and drink are in your it's the future. Alright, and I did in fact already read that, so search terms. Datapads. Noun. A mid-sized portable electronic device for use inside local networks. The lightweight portable electronic devices known as datapads have no significant internal storage capabilities and can only display what is streamed to them from local networks. Oof. Fuck. Ugh. No, it's another Phoenix Wright-esque criminal and defense attorney investigation game, but instead of it being low-key yaoi, it's apparently toxic Yuri. It's like it takes place in the like not too distant future, and it's like a cyberpunk dystopian, stuff. I don't know. I haven't played it before, so that's all I know. Originally marketed as a replacement for ecologically wasteful newspapers, magazines, and flyers, datapads quickly became infamous for the difficulty and expense involved in recycling them once their limited lifetime components expired. Jeez. Capitalism. It wasn't until they were rebranded as ideal for privacy and security that datapads found success in the private and public sectors, where their ability to display location-locked content helped corporations minimize data leaks and give their advertisements targeted geographic relevance. Today, datapads are a mainstay of high-traffic public spaces and virtual physical hybrid workplaces, despite remaining unpopular with most environmentalists and bibliophiles. Fair. I do hear that this is starting to take off in the trans femme spaces. So yeah, the trans mecha fandom might enjoy it, but not because of mecha reasons, just because, well, we know what we like. Conductive resin. Noun, an industrial polymer capable of programming electrical conduction. Though it outwardly resembles plastic or glass, conductive resin is actually an electromagnetic polymer used in a wide variety of stationary or portable devices, where its unique properties allow it to act as both a display and a processor, enabling ultra-thin or even transparent electronics. There are upwards of 100 different patented varieties of conductive resin, each intended for different use cases. industries and environments, but they are all fairly lightweight and fragile except for the small handful formulated for military and security applications. Because of its widespread use in high turnover products such as datapads and smartphones, producers of conductive resin are frequently accused of engineering obsolescence by consumer rights groups, though these claims have never been proven before court. Screen cracked? Schedule a fix here. Yeah, that... My birthday is December 26th, and I definitely didn't have to look it up. I definitely know my own birthday. Yeah, definitely. Transfer. Interesting. December 26th. Perfect. Good morning, Morgan, Counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to our client, you can proceed to Counseling Quarter 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I have not heard of Warhounds. What's that? I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They call it the involuntary wellness check room if they like. It doesn't change the way it makes a person feel, sitting in a stifling box of one-way panels. Nothing to see but their own reflection, dully wrapped across gunmetal walls. Morgan, Counselor, can I help you with anything else? Oh, hello. Cool, okay. Oh, cool. Unlock. Oh yeah, sure. Let's start with that. I know the city's not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn gusty? Dusty. I said gusty. Dusty. This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? The 60s? It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated. Oh, shit. That means you're never getting fixed. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? I'm sorry for any inconvenience you might have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? They ever gonna fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? I know what you are, but I'm still gonna ask. What are you? I'm a smart user interface, proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking. If you're interested, I can send you a link with information about our subscription packages. Should I send you a link with information about our subscription packages? No. Sorry. That was a mean question to ask. That'll be all. Thank you. Oh, that'll be all? Yeah. You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's offices. Through the doors to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now. So you could go on break if you like. Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan Counselor. Mechsploitation. Mecha pies being turned into being basically the fuel for the mechas. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sci-fi, Warhammer 40k, Halo. Yeah, sounds pretty mech stuff. Mech. Then what are you doing before I walked in? You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the doors to the right, thank you. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get my jokes, but it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyway. Eyes gone bad or something? A voice. No, voice is coming from down the hall. Compared to yours, probably. Thank God I stopped for directions. A building this empty, the desks could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, decidedly low energy. Appreciate you. Worrying about me. Whatever, you know. Forbid I try to be serious. Yeah, God forbid to try to be certain. While the other rings with youthful indignation. This is not like our jobs is important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex. Because why else would you bother to print all that out? 1 document or 100? Looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes them think you know them better than their priest, their mother, their big brother. I was gonna say that. So how many of these sheets were blank then? No red carpet tonight, officers. Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. Good cop? Question. No, there are no good cops. We don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway. But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan Esquire. Pleased to meet you. Same here, counselor. Kasim London. And the ball of sunshine here's my partner, Farah Reyes. Farah, yeah. I mean, if it's written by a trans person, it's a trans story. Yeah. Yeah, apparently. Well, but what's the distinction these days? What actually is the distinction? Ball of sunshine. She certainly is. Huh. Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80? Oh, fuck you. The toxicity begins. She can't be more than a few years younger than me. Ahem. We're, the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight we're also on humble guides to the illustrious homicide department. Yeah. Apologies in advance for any couples. Well, it says that there was some comment about crimes being crimes on camera being automatically logged and your phone basically snitching on you. So I think that street level copping is much more down, and so like you just need the drones to pick them up, and then the detectives are they need humans to actually investigate the hard stuff, I guess. I don't know. Ooh. Ugh, no, force femme them, not force mask them. The mech pilots need to be force femmed. It's enrichment for, Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouses before. He never struck me as more than just some old-timer. But I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face, though. Rigid in her posture and her attitude. 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe. 2 whole detectives working at these hours? Sounds serious. Unless you were just the first to arrive on the scene. No, we're not nearly that timely. Not nearly that timely. Uniforms respond to the emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls, plural, must have been quite the commotion. Fair. I mean, surveillance state is very shit at solving crimes. You're right. They're good at making you afraid, though. Ugh. No, not the masks. Look around. You think we're the first to arrive for anything? She's not wrong. We were only tapped after circumstances at the scene indicated involvement with an ongoing investigation. Our ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? But I may as well bite at this point. So you suspect that this client of mine is involved in some separate criminal activity? Wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put in a public defender's briefing. Look, consider this a little professional courtesy a fair warning, yeah? That's the Heartbreak Killer in that room. And we've got the bastard dead to rights. So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if they're smart, they'll pass this shitstorm on to some other night owl and go back to bed. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. So perhaps in the meantime, you'd be so polite as to fill me in about this Heartbreak Killer. They cover utilities at the rock you live under. Is there a problem? You're seriously not familiar with the HK. Never heard of him. I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. That name has been plastered all over the city for weeks, their crimes wavering between breaking news and urban legend. Their presumed goals flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to unappreciated vigilantism. At street corners, in the media, on the net, everyone's indulging in the exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now, I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to cops, I always get better results playing dumb than I do acting smart. Smart! Sounds... Okay, that does sound like something a lot of trans femmes would like. Honestly, none of that really is my kind of appealing stuff, per se. I could maybe enjoy that game, but we'll see. Post some more info about it on the Discord server, and I might add it to my wish list, and we might weave it in once I'm done with once I'm at another mid Phoenix Wright break, you know? When it comes to cops, I always get better. Yep. Take it he's a repeat offender. Was it the killer part that tipped you off? You must have at least heard about his MO. Media's gone crazy with it, along with everyone else. Oh, AO3 story. Okay, that makes sense. Fair. One bullet straight through the heart, body left to lie where it falls. Hence the name, Heartbreak. Alright, let me catch up with this. Oh, unknown, criminal, killing. Dislikes getting caught. Well, yeah. Fave color, probably red? Zodiac sign, probably not into astrology. I don't think that's how that works. You have a zodiac sign. Reward, suspended due to influx of false reports. Okay, well, you know. Oh, hey, we got info on them also. Date of birth, October 19th, 160 centimeters, 63 kilograms, A-. Occupation, homicide detective, 3rd class. Likes, rice, limes, automotive history. Dislikes, liars, small plates, cheap people. Enjoys, watching product reviews. Bad at, games of chance. Right eye. Osiris Elite 86. Osiris Elite 86. Okay. Sure, I don't know what that means. May 5th. 186, 70, B+. Only a B+. First class homicide. Likes photography, dive bars, bangs. Dislikes ties, pollution, after hours, work messages. Listens to podcasts, hobby, pencil sketching, frequently, running late. Same girl. Fair. I'm not really a horror girly. Admittedly, I know. I know. I'm just not a horror girly. Sorry. Automated dependent. Noun, the legal designation for any intelligent electronic entity. Abbreviated as AD and referred to in common conversations as ad or ads. It's automated Independent is a catch-all term encompassing robots, intelligent programs, interactive holograms, and androids. Ads are present both digitally and physically in every industry and nation on the planet, assisting in everything from data management to physical labor. In the mid-21st century, lobbyists pushed through new tax classifications to define intelligent machines that were neither salaried employees nor mere equipment. Because it afforded tax breaks and lighter tariffs, the term became so commonly used that it spread to all branches of the robotics industry, from which point it began to penetrate into everyday speech and pop culture. Some sociologists argue that the term owes its popularity not simply to its brevity and prevalence, but to its ability to draw a distinction between the commonplace robots, androids, smart UIs, etc., and the internationally illegal artificial intelligences. Searching for this term may incur an account flag. Read more about how we cooperate with authorities to combat disinformation here. What you gonna? Nope. Alright. Whoop. AIs are illegal. Good to know. Alright. Not exactly creative, but amidst the swirl of every other 100-word article out there, catchiness trumps originality. What you won't read about online is that all 6 of HK's victims were shot by the same gun, without even needing to reload. Really? Damn. Horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? How do they know? How do they know it wasn't reloaded? I mean, I guess without having to reload. I guess because they don't know if he didn't reload, but it's been 6 for Yeah, 6 for 6, hitting the bullseye at the heart. Shot through the heart. Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row is great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that, it's a whole different beast. It takes a certain kind of monster, a real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise. I see. You almost make him sound like a machine. Is it possible that... No, it is not. There's no such thing as killer robots, madame. Of course, my mistake. So all these androids marching in the military, those robots patrolling in police uniforms, those drones dropping firebombs from the sky, I guess they're all firing blanks. Fair enough. Machines can kill, and they have been for decades, but they don't commit murder. Are you sure? I mean... Oh, yeah, Devolver Digital. Shotgun Cop. Man, that's what they're called. Okay. Platformer where your movement's from gun blasts? And, oh, that sounds rough. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, it sounds interesting, but also hella rough. Right. Evil like Heartbreak is all organic. That's a pretty terrifying thought. I should really start paying more attention to the news. How I managed to miss 6 murders? Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5. Pardon? You're still not getting it. HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago, when he caught the son of a bitch red-handed. So you're convinced that my client is this Heartbreak killer, and tonight was just his latest crime? It's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. Take you to have very serious evidence to back that up. Poof. I was being literal, counselor. Red-handed. When he found your client, he was covered in her blood. Well, I mean, that doesn't mean he's the one who caused that. Oh. There's a demo? Okay, I'll definitely look into that demo then. Well, that's good, isn't it? What you say certainly sounds compelling. Is that lawyer talk for open and shut? But even if that's the case, how does one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders? It's all there in the discovery files. And the ARCs, of course. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna look at ARC. Showing results for Augmented Reality Crime Scene. Augmented Reality Crime Scene, abbreviated as ARCS, is an investigative tool in which data harvesting by the sensors worn on first responders is used to reconstruct a digital copy of a pristine crime scene. Programmed and distributed by a small number of tech corporations and frequently modified or even personalized by local municipalities, ARC systems are used by every major police force, most insurance investigators, and many law firms. After its introduction in the early 2060s, the technology briefly came under public scrutiny when the independent news organization United Media Casters, released a series of reports claiming that ARC's data was regularly edited by corrupt officials to erase state secrets. These reports were later found to be fake, and UMC was exposed as the subsidiary of a cell corporation within Lambda Work Solutions, who were marketing a number of alternatives to ARC's technology at the time. Board members at Lambda denounced their actions of said cell and offered assistance to their former competitors in suing leadership at UMC, but the proceedings and settlements in those lawsuits remain sealed. Okay, well, yeah. Join the local net on your phone and we'll turn over everything you need. I'll bet. Thanks for that, Detective. I'll be sure to read it over. But if it's all the same, could I ask you two some questions while I've got you here? The hell kind of attorney wants to interrogate the detectives? This kind of attorney. You're just that pleasant. Toxic, yeah, wait. Come on, sunshine. Not like we're gonna be punching out anytime soon, right? Whatever. Let your clients do an interrogation all night for all I care. You mean the counseling quarters? Right, your disposal counselor. Ooh, ah. I see 3. Barren, stark, and uninviting, this must be Ray's desk. Keep your workstation neat and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single note of personalization. Is she so new she hasn't had time to unpack, or is she really that uptight and boring? Both, maybe. You shouldn't have cleaned up so much just for little old me, Detective London. Someone really needs to introduce this guy to a filing system. Or even just a stapler. Paper documents scattered about lazily alongside actual photographs. Either he's really old-fashioned or really paranoid about data leaks. And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. Well, orderliness aside, some things are better in paper. I'll give him that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Huh. Latest Noble androids receive warm welcome. Honestly, if we're in the future where 98% of things are digital, I would hella still do things on paper. All right. Bolstered by a strong earnings report and surging sales of the Animate 16, Noble Electronics stock rose a stunning 3% this week to a new record high. While Noble's latest iteration has yet to surpass the sheer popularity of its predecessors, an increased profit margin has left Noble's shareholders very enthused. Many investors were skeptical when at their now infamous 2084 trade convention, Noble announced that the 16th line would be the first generation of androids to feature over 50% organic components. Ooh, that's more man than machine now, huh? So-called warm androids, which at the time only saw demand in the health, senior, and childcare sectors, were looked down upon as impractical due to increased maintenance costs, cuts, scratches, bruises, and the like. While some critics voiced concerns that fringe religions or traditionalist groups might find warm androids controversial, more business-focused minds feared that Noble was alienating its customers in the industrial and military sectors in order to cater to civilian consumers. Users that viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. However, as has often been the case in the latest decades, Noble's doubters were proven wrong. The Animate 16 is poised to break profitability records, with no signs of slowing down, and many industry analysts predicting that these once rare organic androids will completely replace their more robotic predecessors in daily life within the next 3 to 5 years. Jeez. Ugh. What's the line? Like, where's the line gonna be? They're just gonna start cloning, cloning a slave force or, something. Oof. As described in the earnings report, much of the 16th line's success, and indeed the success of Noble's androids in general, can be attributed to the remarkable lifelike personal charm of their products. By all accounts, that charm can be attributed to the work of Noble's famed lead programmer, Dr. David Asher. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Definitely a lifelike and realistic, mostly organic robot is definitely not actually alive. Definitely. Lead programmer is the understatement of the century, said Noble brand ambassador Lucy Dees on stage at their latest Nobel Industry Weekend. It's because of his Turing solution that every Nobel product, from the sleekest assistants to the most advanced intensive care technicians, are so beloved and trusted by our customers. While his reputation was on full display at the event, Dr. Asher himself was nowhere to be seen. He's always been reclusive, but he's become a genuine hermit in recent years. Are you really to believe he's still... Hey fam, looks like you're not logged into this device. Want to put in your account info so we can help keep you reading? Hell no. He's in the news again. It's no wonder. Can't spit without landing on a piece of noble tech these days. Especially not when the state's involved. Don't know if they'll bite when it comes to warm androids, though, for government use. They're just... too frail, I suppose? All androids undergo wear and tear, especially if they're directing traffic or suppressing crowds. So these warm androids bleed pink all over themselves every time they take a rock to the creek. It's just an endless stream of bad photo ops waiting to happen. Yeah. I can't just interact with them, huh? Alright, well, I think it's time to observe. Okay. Loose wires, missing panels, and air con systems that probably sweats more than the people it's supposed to cool. No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit, huh? I expected to find a lot of belt tightening at Homicide, but I didn't think their operation would be this bare bones. They've got a stunning clearance rate, and they work fast. Guess the city sees that and just assumes their job is easy. Maybe their job is easy, what with our dear doting surveillance state and eliminating so much of the footwork. But for yours don't squeak and you don't get your palms greased, so Homicide ends up as the only state department with a shrinking budget. Dumping grounds for the police force's most unambitious and least popular. Alright, unambitious and least popular. Cool. Nothing else jumps out to me around here. I've got a better idea of who I'm dealing with at least. Now I need to check out the crime scene data. I should have been sent a link. You've been granted access to state files regarding case KL433511. Cool. Reply C to confirm. Confirm. No, C. You need to reply C in order to confirm. Bro, you can't be this bad at it. Am I talking to a person? I am an automated dependent. Ads are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our users' preferences. So the state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply C. C. It's case sensitive. Fuck off. At this point, just fuck off. Thank you. Link.uxi/433511. Alright, if I project from my phone... Oh! Crime scene. Cool. Alright, let's see what the police have. And what they think is important. Oh, I have an article. Oh, yeah. Just the 4 things? Okay. Seems like this vase got tossed aside at some point, and yet there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's making a statement. Stand-up mirror, shattered and knocked over. Real glass, no screens or cameras here. It was hit hard enough to come unattached from its arm, while shards of glass were scattered far enough to land on the victim's body. What a mess. The murder weapon, a revolver, found right next to the body. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers, meaning the gun's been fired 6 times. Looks like the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing. But all they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. So he was found by the police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I don't even know where to start. Highly prejudicial would be an understatement. Prejudicial? I don't fucking know. The victim's body. Cause of death, ballistic trauma. Class 4 blood loss. Atrium and aorta. Simple gunshot wound to the heart. In brief, death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else, and no blood or skin under her nails. Blood spatter, forensics, and all that other good stuff tells them that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the doorway when they fired. That's all the big-ticket items. What about the security? Looks like the apartment was unlocked all night. It's not uncommon for people people their age in a neighborhood like this. But no signs of forced entry only hurts my client's case. What about the rest of the room? There's not much else flagged here. Just a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Yeah, what is that? Unidentified ceramic debris. Ceramic debris of indeterminate origin found at the crime scene. Found on the far side of the room by the western window. Technician's note. Flag is irrelevant on next pass. Okay, well. Oh, well, we got our evidence. That's their technical assessment? Okay. Guess even the crime scene techs weren't sure what to make of it. Okay. That's everything that the police highlighted. But did I miss anything? Let me just look. The hell is that? Yeah. Something in the victim's hand. How the hell did... It's just a pill organizer. Looks like some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and Tiprexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication, taken daily to reduce rejection symptoms like phantom pain and generalized itch. The autopsy said her tox screen was clear, but it's not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine cabinet in the city and it wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything else here is all very incriminating, but the kicker's everything that's not here. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. Ooh, what's this? IoT. Show results for Internet of Things. Internet of Things refers to the network data sharing that goes on between all the countless electronics that we monitor ourselves with. Phones, computers, security systems, biofeedback devices, body modifications, and prosthetics, and of course automated dependents, all comprise small but vital parts of this network. Without IoT's ability to collect, process, and share information, massive opportunity costs build up as individuals, governments, and private business miss out on the valuable insight the data has to offer. Yeah, so they're, compiling and then selling your data. Fuck them. My fridge does not need internet capabilities. One of the coolest ways that IoT improves our lives is through the usage of crumbs, small packets of data containing your own unique identifying information. So, are they legally not allowed to say the word cookies, or what? Or like, have they evolved to a new thing that's just different enough that someone renamed it crumbs? Throughout your day, as your own IoT devices say hi to your other devices, they'll leave behind crumbs as a parting gift. Crumbs allow for paperless identification and management and help the government manage human and vehicular traffic. Crumbs let you see where you've been so that you can see where you should go. Want to start leaving crumbs right away? Don't worry, crumbs are enabled by default. Not interested in sponsored search results? See further with a premium account. Okay, well, yeah, fuck you. Point source anyone except my client. Well, I've done more with less before. But not much more. I'm really gonna have to sing for my supper this time. Better get start. Who the hell's messaged me at this time of night? Yeah, who the hell's messaged me at the... Okay, well. First person who comes to mind is... I suppose it could be something important. Red? What couldn't wait until morning. Good news, of course. Got a job for you. That's a pretty cheery way to tell me you violated parole. Lol, not that kind of job. Besides, I haven't covered my tracks. This is something different. Kind of thing I can't handle with just a keyboard and phishing scheme. I need to sue my gym teacher. Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. Eh, at least let me finish. Do you have a child? Is this your child? What did they do? Make me run laps? Not illegal. Let me finish! They made me run laps. Even though I said I had a stomachache. Said? Gotta be like youth endangerment. Depraved, indifferent, or some kind of shit. Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Try self-representing this time. What's with the blow-off? Nice phrasing. Oh wow, I'm laughing so hard right now. See? Is that your mugshot? I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot and use it as a reaction. Fair. Fair. Yeah. I found a use case. But I'm worried right now. So, working. Anything cool? Homicide. Oh, cringe. Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HBK? Yeah. Is that the kind of morbid things kids your age talk about? Teens my age? Nah, you're a kid. And yeah, we can read. Compared to the corrupt shit in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder, like Hardy B, is like quaint. It's not heartbreak. Why do you take the job, lol? Huh. You see the 98% conviction rate as a challenge or something. Taking out lost cause, prob knows work? Pro bono? I don't know. It's pro bono. Yeah, okay. That was autocorrect. You know they give light homework for a reason, right? Or lit homework. This is borderline concerned nagging. Maybe you really are a bleeding heart. Or just a sucker. Not a sucker. Nice phrasing, lol. You should be up. You should go to bed, Fran. Tomorrow's Sunday. I can stay up if I want. Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday. What's up with the Carpe Diem shit? It's nearly 4 a.m., kid. You've got school in like 3 hours. Oh, they have school on Saturdays now? This future's shit. Pete offenders may be good for business, but that kid's bad for my blood pressure. Important text messages, I take it? Just your typical teenage drama. So then, if you wouldn't mind filling me in on a few details. Oh. By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you're light on staff. It's 3 in the morning. Were you expecting a parade? Thought there'd at least be a few androids around. Aren't many androids in any police station this week, not while the brass is renegotiating contracts. Contracts with Noble? Good guess. Hardly. They're the biggest robotics corp there is. Could spend all day in Center City without leaving their offices. Shadow. Yes, we're very fortunate to have them headquarters here. Saved us some money on shipping, at least. But these talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing characters for Noble ads by the end of the month. Even with Noble pushing those warm androids. Warm, ugh. Might as well call it the adult line. Might see him in the bigger departments or out on patrol, but not around these offices. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as android detectives yet. Yeah, you really think that'll happen? We already use ads for patrolling security, the scenes, pacifying crowds. Doesn't seem like that big a stretch to me. You're joking, right? Android detectives? With all the pain we go through getting witnesses to talk to us? With your warm personality, I can't imagine. Cop knocks on your door, starts asking questions, you're gonna be put in a bad mood. An ad knocks on your door, calls you a degenerate criminal in a synthesized voice loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. You're gonna start posting the shit that'll get you put on a list. Sorry. Well, we certainly don't want that. But flesh and blood witnesses are becoming less and less common anyway. Cameras, sensors, satellites, we already got all our facts from machines. Give it a few more years and it might make sense to let the machines do the investigation too. Investigating. The union would. The police union wouldn't let that happen. She need not have specified it's the only the real union there is anymore. So how about the basics? What exactly has my client been charged with? Your client, Carlos Baker Flat, was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m. using his middle name already. Oof, they really do think he's a serial killer. The charge being first-degree murder of his girlfriend, a Miss Diane Dawn. Diane Dawn. First degree, that's increasingly rare, to say the least. It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes of passion around here. This has got damn near more cameras than people, so you gotta be real stupid to try and get away with murder. Well, Heartbreak's gotten away with it 6 times. 5. 6 if this isn't your guy. You're right. So I'm the defense attorney. So yes, the Heartbreak Killer has gotten away 6 so far because my client is innocent. Nailed it. 5 times, that makes him insane. I was gonna go with extraordinary. Let's split the difference and say he's extraordinarily insane. But nutjobs like that aren't renowned for their ability to think ahead. So what makes you think this was premeditated? How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up? Oh, warm-up. 5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsies crawled up and down their online profiles. Okay. Oh. Blah, blah, blah. First-degree homicide, still services time to no charges, registered at birth. Modification industrial, class 4. And some, yep, alright. But, let's see. Oh, the victim. A 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher for Perigee Laboratories. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of the apartment she shared with prime suspect Carlos Flat. No known connections with previous HK victims. Yep. And then... digital autopsy. Autopsy. Noun. A post-mortem examination of an individual's electronic footprint. The law enforcement process of locating, bypassing authentication on, and investigating all of a deceased individual's online profiles, commonly used to seek out possible connections to suspects or other victims. The widely utilized practice has been scrutinized in the past by some privacy advocates, but many victims' families who lack the ability to find, let alone access all of their deceased loved ones' accounts, argue for its necessity. Comparable processes are offered as a paid service by those legal or funerary groups to help next of kin recover or delete sensitive personal data. At times, these services have been marketed as a defense against data criminals attempting to steal the identities of the dead before their accounts are wiped by state processes. Users also frequently search for grave cobbling. Grave cobbling? Grave cobbling. That's is that a typo or Grave cobbling. How to stop stolen identity. How to delete dead profile. Grave cobbling. I want a grave cobbler to give me to make funerary like goth boots for me, you know? Yeah. Nothing. So this serial killer chose his victim at random if they have nothing in common. Yeah, nothing in common at all. Other than that they all look like cousins. The physical similarities are striking. Ah, classic serial killer motives. Or serial killer MO, whatever, yeah. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes. About the same height, comparable weight. Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon. Couldn't it be a coincidence 6 times? A coincidence 6 times? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets. HK has got himself a type. Anyone can see that. You're really gonna try and tell me you don't see the resemblance? A young woman, brown hair, brown eyes. Can't tell how tall she is from a portrait, but I can take the hint. So you think what exactly? That Carlos Flat wanted to kill his girlfriend so badly he went out and shot 5 other women first? Hey, if the shoe fits, then you put the shoe on. What Sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence from people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences. I learned this from season 1 of Hannibal. Drifters, loners, strangers, workers. He was probably building up the nerve for tonight by first practicing on these other similar women. Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore. It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit. They want to claim that these previous victims were practice run dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. But if that were the case, there'd have been signs of hesitation, nerves. There'd have been mistakes. On top of which, guns are impossible. Are impersonal execution shots, even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. Killing your girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. If you ask me. Hey. Wait. Log. Okay. Oh, what's the timeline? I saw the time of death was 9 p.m. on the autopsy, but do you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events? Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth, but we've managed thanks to less biased sources, and we're pretty confident about what we've been able to piece together from their statements. So they interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work. The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with one another starting around 8 p.m. Neighbors were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait to tell us all about the happy couple's domestic problems. Everyone in the building knew they'd been fighting for weeks. As you probably gathered from what you saw in the arcs, there was a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered. But things go quiet sometime before 9 p.m. And then there's a gunshot. Scrubbers are still scrubbing. Looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. Okay, what's scrubbing? Net scrubbing, noun, the process of microscoping all unencrypted data in a given time and place. Refers to the process of scouring all available data posted on the net within a certain time frame and location range for evidence of a crime, an increasingly common technique for police departments, corporate investigators, and occasionally public relation firms. While the brute force work is performed by automated dependents, either digital or physical, experienced human supervisors must establish strict search constraints in order to produce usable results. Interest in this practice spiked from Senator Bancroft, positioned as a key pillar of his party's law and order platform, but pollings indicate voters rarely held a strong opinion on the process, and the topic has since faded from political discourse. Alright. We heard from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure about the time. Right, emergency service got a burst of calls from the block shortly after 9 p.m. No one seemed to recognize the sound of what it was, but the silence of that followed was pretty universally alarming. Officers arrived on the street at 9:08 p.m., established a perimeter, enter through the open front door at 9:10 p.m., and then they found their client, crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. Oh, coat. Ah, hiccups. Oh no. Not the hiccups. At which point they moved to secure the scene and the suspect. Sorry, did you say his hand singular? Your client's modded, cybernetic right arm. Mods, showing results for body modifications. Give me a piece of chocolate. Okay, hiccups are not going away, but, well, I can't be muted the entire time. Alright. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants 2086. Well, that's not good search results to... Yep. How much modded are we talking about here? Ahau Industries Habilis 2085 mechanical limb. Boasts an impressive combination of grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. Success of it and its sister products went a long way towards securing state contracts for Ahau Industries. Alright. Says he's spec'd for dexterous manipulation of up to Class 4 KPA. Oh, stupid hiccups. Which means a minimum grip strength of, well, basically, he could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. Ah! I like your eye. What's up with that? Can I see your eye again? Considering a career change? No, it's not that. It's just your eye must be very sensitive for you to put the patch back on each time. And here I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion. You think a cop would cover up her dominant eye because it was fashionable? I actually thought the same thing the first time we met. You what? But getting back on track, that arm of his has been in the shop for some time now. Can't work without it. Money got tight. The art? Yeah. Let me get... There. I might have got... Yeah. Her eye is modded. I got that. But I want to see it more. Damn it. I thought I got it. Alright. Okay. When did he put his arm in for repairs? 8 days before HK's first victim was killed. Well, no chance they'll be willing to chalk that up to coincidence. Client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scan found his fingerprints on the revolver. I am not happy about these hiccups, but well, we're continuing. And no one else is. A revolver, what kind? The old kind, the real kind. I did get water. I've got water. I've been chugging the water. What's your suggestion for hiccups? Everyone, what are your hiccup remedies? I'm listening to all, and those who bring me the solution will have, I don't know, like, I guess they inherit my throne or something when I die. I don't know. Caliber, how retro? Caliber gun, a manufacturer of civilian firearms from 2031 to 2062. Was brought up by Thortec, an acquisitions group specializing in security and national defense, now a subsidiary of the Lockcon Defense Corporation. Though no guns have borne the Caliber branding since production halted in 2060. The once iconic brand was briefly revived in 2071 Q2 with a series of video game memorabilia timed promotions meant an increase in-game item sales before being discontinued in 2071 Q3 for failing to increase in-game item sales. Deep breaths. Yeah, fair. 1 second, let me... Nope. Oh, cool. Her eye. I see her eye. Okay. Yeah, no. Hey. Hi. Hello. Under the half of it, we're talking steel chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin, and no tags. No tags? How is that? Just how old are we talking here? Yeah, 24/7 location data. Timestamp trigger pulls, safety coded to owner biometrics. The past 3 decades, tags have been made shooting crimes very unambiguous. So you're claiming my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes. How else do you think he'd have gotten away with this 5 other times? If he tried to buy a gun legit, he'd probably fail the very first psych check. And even jailbroken pieces are only good for so long before update withdrawal sets in. So then M54, that's model year 2054. A 30-year-old gun. Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it? In some ways, sure. But pre-tagging firearms are rare. Gotta be less than 1,000 of them left in the whole country, and fewer still compatible bullets. The ammunition would be over 30 years old too. The novelty of this weapon kept us in the dark so far, but now that we have our hands on it, it's gonna put him away for good. Archive department complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig. But with the protocols they found, the techs were able to match the rifling markings on all 6 bullets to the gun Grant was found with. Rifling marks? Hold on. Alright. Holding my breath. Let's see. I remember that was another thing that could sometimes do it. Nope. Alright. Bullets fired from guns that old are marked by the barrel shape. So if all 6 bullets have the same rifling marks, We know that they were all fired by the same gun. It's not as plug-and-play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. And if that's not damning enough, the spent casings from the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber. Really? Alright, hey, I don't know what hiccups sound like through my mic and over Twitch and such. So, is this bothering anyone? Should I stop? Because, like... Ugh. Yeah. Well, it's not fun. But I'm here. I want to play. Yeah, okay, sure. How did he look when the officers found him? Guilty. How was he affected? Quiet, detached, stiff. Not exactly the picture of a grieving partner. That action may have lost him points with the cops, but beyond that, people react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways, and so long as the police are suspicious of you, there's no right way to grieve. Yeah. As long as the police are suspicious of you, there is no right way to anything. ACAB. Checking my phone here, and I have to say, you've done a pretty admirable job keeping the detail of HK's crimes a secret. Hey there, looks like you're trying to search for a term related to an ongoing investigation. Okay, yep. The less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobatics trying to piece together a story. Yeah, top 11 theories on who hurt HK was a real weighty read. It's not just journalists, though. All kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK's managed to bring out of the woodwork is in just a few weeks. Can you blame them, though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are endangered species, but he's gotten away with... We know he's gotten away with. Take a look around us, detective. National DNA registries, robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen. Violent crimes at all-time low and clearance rates at an all-time highs. But, you gotta spot some alt-pol bullshit about invasion of privacy. No, I'm not. People are safer now than at any other time in the history of detectives. So when someone like Heartbreak does come along... Good point. Len is trying to look like he can laugh it off, but pressure from the higher-ups must be reaching its peak. They want, maybe need, to see someone charged, and that... makes them predictable. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the media for case details. That way, when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scraps they get. But we can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide's tight-knit and tight-lipped, but it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place. And why is that? Because none of the shootings were caught on the opt-in crime surveillance system. Opt-in? Optics, opt-in crime surveillance system. X, yeah. The opt-in crime surveillance systems, abbreviated as Optics, is a partnership program between the state and private enterprises that allows for the free sharing of surveillance and security data to better promote and preserve public safety. Oh, okay, so the ones being opting in are the corporations, not the civilians. Yeah, that tracks. Accessible through state employee logins or private partner accounts, Optics Smart UI allows users to search through and collate footage from a city of tens of millions in just a few simple keystrokes. Optics is frequently cited in state reports as one of the most effective tools for reducing crime, and footage from optics often serves as key evidence in criminal proceedings, where it is considered admissible by default. See People v. Erewhon. Yeah, I'm sure the user agreements are totally readable and not like the size of a building at this point. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess he could work construction. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Whoever the killer is has to know those when and wheres. Yeah. Even with the devil's own luck, it can't possibly be a coincidence. Wait, so you're saying when this woman was killed? Yeah, there was a blackout from around 8 to 9 tonight, right on schedule, and it included the area surrounding the victim's apartment. Well, what about DNA from the other crime scenes? Was my client a match? There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes. No footage and no forensics. Also, no motives, tampering, or witnesses. It's been like hunting a damn ghost. We didn't even have a murder weapon. Until now. Finally, a lucky break for the poison blue. Scanners, cams, drones, forensics, no matter how you dress it up with tech, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes. But HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we even caught him tonight was because he finished what he had set out to do all along. I don't know. So was my client on a list of suspects before tonight? Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects. We questioned some execs, a few CIs, someone even spoke to one or two unlisted at some point. Nothing came of it. Unlisted. I want to know what an unlisted is. Give me that fucking... Okay. There was talk about starting on some kind of psych eval or something, but I never expected much to come of that. Yeah, I hear there's supposed to be Yuri too. I don't know when it's gonna happen though. There's just not enough here there to work with. In other words, the only thing they have, the only thing they could have to link my client to those killings is the murder weapon. If I can jostle that keystone, then the rest of their case should start to come loose as well. Thanks for the chat, detectives. I think I understand the background well enough now. Candidly, I see the same strokes you do, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. But even so, it seems a bit refined to be brought before a judge, don't you think? Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets the conviction. Besides, we're not exactly going to have to work hard to convince anyone of his guilt. And why is that? Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk. What? Well, that's unexpected. I'm sorry. You're now telling it that he wrote a confession? Has it been verified? Not yet. Nope, still hiccups. Alright. We must pass everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line. Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints. There's a copy of the discovery data, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading. Man, somehow I need to... Okay, show it to me. Oh, there it is. Sorry for everything, can't say it enough. Don't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not, want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. I had broken them, didn't, mean to at first, but I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough, I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. I don't think this is... Yeah, this doesn't seem related. This isn't... I don't know, whatever. That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, got a spin on that. No need, but it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer, and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly. I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flushed with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, Counselor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in handcuffs isn't cruel or unusual. And that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads. Well, hey, she's got you there. If he's a serial killer that only kills brunettes with a specific height and weight, she's fine. Honestly. Can't fault you there. Seriously though, I'd like to speak with him all alone now. Whew. Camera's off, if you don't mind. Mike's on or off is your call, Counselor. We'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything happens. And the cuffs that is, stay on. That worried about me. How chivalrous. Okay. Episode 1 court scenes. Nice. The Yuri. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding. Gross, I'll start up the unlock cycle. Counselor, just one last word of advice. If you have an interest in his well-being, I suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. That's a capital crime, if ever was one. OMG. And even if the death penalty is not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not going to like whatever rehabilitation plan they drop for him. Because seeing the virtual work release program in person, and it's... Alright, what's this? Verp. Hey there, due to ongoing controversy following the suspected suicide of inmate Jay Gallet, search results for this term are temporarily blocked. Oof, that's not great. Okay. Got that. Profile, stuff. But yeah, no. Yeah. Maury, look. It's Morgan. Occupation, criminal defense attorney, likes puzzles, smoking, wooden furniture, dislikes commercials, hairdressers, jogging, talent, can fall asleep in any position, coffee decaf, drink whiskey sour. Congrats. Being challenged before the Supreme Court. Yeah, sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty. That much is true. It saves the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the Heartbreak Killer. Anyone convicted of killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. 3:35 a.m., June 5th, 2086. 1 second. I will be right back. Let me try. There I'm back. I screamed. It feels like it might have worked. No, wait. We'll see. Morgan, it's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. Color's flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover. But this shouldn't take all night. Look, I already told you people I'm not a cop, Carlos. For this thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed, acting like they were on my side and they thought that I could have, It's not their job to help you, Carlos, but it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure, but they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So what do you want to know? Yeah. Note to self: next time I get hiccups, get up, scream, then walk back over and sit down. I'm fine. Yeah. All right. It's that easy. Apparently. Yeah. Let's just simple. Something mundane. Grounded. Wrote. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in? I'm with City Engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm, I got it slotted for the job. And, Carlos, we're gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in City Engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment. But based on his shoulder, it'd have to be pretty... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a shoulder, Let me see. I think I got... Was it his... Suspect's prosthetic. Combination of grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. The success of it and its sister products went a long way towards securing state contracts without... I'm gonna go with utilitarian, I think. Right? Yeah. Utilitarian, yeah. Doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. Okay, well, that's what they meant by lifelike versus utilitarian. Okay, so yeah. Not a savvy. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informed him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. Yeah. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. Always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye, test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. Yeah. Did I get info on that exactly? Nope. Alright. Well, that sucks. I work the tighter spaces, the high volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But with the right word choice here and there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy, you must be under a lot of pressure. Yeah, let's go with the under a lot of pressure. Must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight, and this crap with Long. Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Well, yeah, sucks to be an engineer when your job is, yeah. Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard to not look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing a prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues. Started last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? Mod therapy. The process of adjusting the human mind and body for the unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications. Typically includes physical therapy, mental thinking, blah blah blah. Depends on individual's viability or lack thereof. Alright. It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then, these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought this would go on so long. I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms, just oversensitivity. They said, an easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're not on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. Doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no. I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. Oh, okay, let's see. 40 business days. Oof. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive-ass stump for a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. Couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? How Industries. Indie. Yep. And we're hiring. We're seeking motivated and passionate archivists, programmers, salespersons, and college graduates with degrees in digital archaeology, cybernetic anatomy, and more. Yeah, that's a lie. No one's ever looking for jobs. As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose the down payment and my arm. I'd never work in the city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that Long's in deep hot shit. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, bro. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, you mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill ya. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Phantoms. Phantom pain. Yep, kind of figured. Yeah, just a lot of stuff about phantom pain. There's large mental elements to play, therapy, blah. Understood as the spread of the body movement. Seen as crazy. Is my arm haunted? Wait, was this upgraded? Luck poor. Oh, yeah, this was upgraded. Yeah. Airports, worn shoes and firm beds. Dislikes cabs, musical cashews. Favorite flower, poppy. Student debt, sizable. Luck, poor. Alright, yeah, that all tracks. Arm-shaped attachment to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a dead weight, three-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So, were you wearing it when... Oof. Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't, but I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so can't have gotten too far. Let me just check on that real quickly. Oh yeah, that's a shitty mod right there. Okay. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only because at the time in question he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected, but this has all just been a warm-up for both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Alright, cool. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right, I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Oh, Diane, she was in genetics, focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Yeah. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate. Practically headhunted, you believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real-ass job. Paid real-ass money, too. Oh. Damn, this man's life has been ruined. So her career was starting to pan out. Well, I mean, you know. And her life is dead. Yeah. She probably got it worse. Definitely got it worse. But, you know. I'm thinking of them as a unit. I guess as a video game, there's, you know, like, their lives were ruined. Rye's years had fallen into the mother of all slums. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No, Perigee Laboratories. Ugh. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little cutthroating. But Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the seasons, no one's gonna buy that. They had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough? I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. Yeah. Yeah, that would be too easy. I don't think it was. I think this was purely because she fit the serial killer's MO, you know? Yeah, I've got to disprove the argument entirely. But let's start with the fact that he didn't have his right arm and he's left-handed. I mean, he didn't have his right arm and he's right-handed, which means there's no way. There's no way. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? Now I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Oh, start at the beginning and take your time. Details are important. All right, Miss, Morgan. I'll try Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I hadn't been working. Haven't been making money. Haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. Fair. The report says you were arguing around 8 p.m. 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. Across the line, we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring her phone with you or any other electronics? No. I kind of stormed off, didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me? With optics down, traffic and street-level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, I not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? Damn. May have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I didn't have all the details quite right. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cam's probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? Yeah, yes, you're fucked. I'm sorry. I'll do my best. I think I got a case. I think I got... Some of the details are lining up. I think I can do it. But, right now, you're fucked. Sorry. There's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning, you've got no alibi. This can't. Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't. Carlos, I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right. Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud, and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back, I was so out of breath. When I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest, and my lungs went... Live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment, street-facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in, like it was some kind of big deal. Yeah. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize... I never thought that she was... Lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed or she had fallen or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do. You hear a lot of lies. Oh! His fingerprints are on it. But were they left or right-hand fingerprints? Is someone out there scooping up discarded, amputated limbs and using their fingerprints? That would be fucked up. Am I going in an entirely different direction than this game is intending me to? Am I that unhinged that I'm going directly to someone took his amputated arm to frame him? Yeah, I did just go there. Well, I'm fucked up, aren't I? But hey, you know what? I might be right. I might be right. Begone bot. Alright. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies, bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie, but it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive, and none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. If your client notices that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. Oh, so like, just sitting here on my phone, is that gonna cause issues? Are they gonna see me on my phone and go, oh shit, my lawyer's an iPad baby? I don't have any store credit. I want to buy stuff. Alright. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, because... Yeah, your prints. That's what was on there, right? Yeah. It's the fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. Well, what? But I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun. Okay, yeah, no, I went a very gruesome and fucked up direction for no... Yeah, he was just lying. Okay. Fair. I think someone took that. Someone intercepted his amputated arm and kept it cryogenically frozen for the future, murder framing purposes. Is still technically on the table. Technically. I don't know. Still, if all he did was hold the gun, so stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home right in front of, you were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast. It seemed like the rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight. What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh, it's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered. So, right, it's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. Oof. This feels not like the best idea, in all fairness. He is admittedly still in shock. I don't know. Okay. Well, I mean, he's gonna have information that will be relevant. He's gonna be able to identify something else that everyone else overlooked because, well, it's his home. But I don't know. I don't know if he's got in a good mental state for this right now. So, Alright, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now, close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? Girl! You're bad at... like, what the... What's wrong? Something's out of place? Yeah. It's a good drawing, ma'am. Yeah. Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. It's just I guess I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. To the AIR. Oh. Well, I suppose that works too. Oh, so that was an option the entire time, girl? Sorry, I didn't mean. I think your drawing was pretty good, considering. I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean, this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it confession. A confession? But this is just note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the notes that you hurt them. I broke her fidget tubbies. Oh, yeah. See, I knew it was going to be something stupid like that. Like, broke some. Broke them does not mean. Yeah. Her what? Ahem. Her what? Her fidget tubbies. What are those marketable abominations? They're these collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile, use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters. She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her, and I broke them. All right, let's see. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but with that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. Got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless... Yep. Okay, let's say he did break her Frigiduckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough data in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the heartbreak killings anyway, couldn't even bother to sweep them up. I felt so... Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm going to call the police back in here, and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I do have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Ooh. Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there, he shoots people through the heart, right? The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources, so unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblances to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just... doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow in the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. Alright, yeah, fair, yeah. 4 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Are we gonna have a trial at 4 a.m.? Or 5 a.m.? Or, I don't know, that doesn't... I didn't realize you could smoke in here. You can do whatever you want. If Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. Oh, yeah. Shit, how much money was that? Was that... Ugh. I guess so. Ugh, she got money to burn. Stupid anything, you know, if you've got money, it's just, you know, anything's legal. Bullshit. I hate that. I mean, of course, but I hate that. Nervous, don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. Oh? Why does everyone always think the first time is so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh, and what areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, ma'am, I never go anywhere near loot boxes. Oh no! We're in the future where loot boxes are definitively gambling. Oh. I mean, good for them, but also, oh no. We're just gonna say it. Oh. Fucking loot boxes. That's why I don't play modern video games. Fucking loot boxes. Season passes. Bullshit. All of it. Won't touch the stuff. I mean, more like playing cards. Oh, well, then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker is nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker. And the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean like the house always wins? Yeah. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. Yeah. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt, as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. It doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. That is what a lawyer does. So that's the strategy. Piff, what's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. No. Ready to confess yet? Because I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. District attorneys... District attorneys have files say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long protracted trials, and they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then you'll have to call them back, because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right? What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. Girl! A couple years difference. This is that toxic Yuri starting up, you know. Well, there was already one comment earlier. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession, let's start there. Okay, well, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint-by-number stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it. Apologies for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts. But I've been building up my hand all night, and now I've got the weapons to answer anything, then they try and throw at me. Well, my client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Okay. Oh, okay, I see. And all gave me these two, and the strum of crap is the... Yeah, okay, got it. No, oh, I have to move it here? Okay. Yep, so the... I forgot what they were called. The fidget thingies. You're simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking the exact same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room, it's created from data you captured, right? Pure non-GMO augmented reality crime scene data. Yep. What's non-GMO? Girl, you can't be that young. Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room is full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from when the vase got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh? Because that vase... Oh, it still looks intact, yeah. Yes. The lady at the garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it. The one time I try and thrift shop on my own. Well, so what? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. Teresa, what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was about his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fiji Bob? Fidget Tubbies. What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously. As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note, and we can plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed. As the arcs clearly show, those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle too. You really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. There is? I honestly don't know. Okay, so first I got to... Okay, so first let's figure out... Okay, so first I guess we're taking the rental... You know what? I'm gonna... We're safe. There. Okay, so if I take the rental arm and put it over here, maybe? Just take a close look at the rental you took into custody. Aha! One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the Fickle Buddy ecosystem. Fickle Buddy, yeah, we're gonna mispronounce that. The fidget whatever's every single time because I can't even remember what they're called. It's fidget tubbies. Why? How? Whatever. You did take it in custody. I'm sure your techs found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it, it's fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm. While he was killing her, happy, overjoyed, because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report, so that rental hadn't been used since the AM. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at scrawled how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was that upset over a fidget tubby collection? One that hasn't even been graded? Oh, girl's a collector. Girl's a collector. Let the Yuri commence. Setting aside Detective Ray's surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles. You're correct. They hold no real monetary value. It wouldn't be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss, but so what? So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is right-handed. Because Carlos is right-handed. Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? Surprisingly, no. No, you're okay for being AFK, and honestly, cat cuddles are worth more than this, you know? Cuddle your cats, everyone right now, take a moment to find the nearest small animal that will dart from you, and give it affection, right now. However this small animal appreciates affection. Cuddles are probably most appreciated, but whatever. Mm-hmm. So the reason why that note looks like asylum wall scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing, and I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice. Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found a client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big old goddamn gun that's just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right, that coat is... What, you gonna claim it's not his, that he actually wears an extra small? She's trying to bait me, in her typical low-key fashion. As the arguments flow, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Hi! Welcome. Yeah. I am, it is supposedly Toxic Yuri. There's... Yeah. She must have, okay. Something you'd like to ask me, Detective? I'm just curious, what'll it be next? You're gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small? Stay. He doesn't wear an extra small, or what's the right? Yeah, okay, I'm not even allowed to just click on the other one. Oh, fun. Yeah. That's gonna be... That's definitely some blue sky domain right there. Gee, Carlos, do you... no. Yeah, sure, there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention. There's no evil twin, yeah. What? There's not an evil twin, obviously. No, I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime? To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now without hard evidence... Yeah, I can't prove it right now. I have no evidence of a third party at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day, no evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't gonna win that hand either way, but at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene, which was not smart. Hey, but not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? Lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier if I just show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway. And here I thought the room smelled like... Pfft. Morgan, what are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood, I remember that much. So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that that's impossible. You're innocent. And that means that having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really. Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck. Or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. Girl, you lie so quickly, so easily. I have not streamed that game, because also I've never heard of that game. I don't know who this is. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What was it that reminds me of? Alright, here it is. One bloodstained jacket, fresh from the lab. So what's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? No. That would be silly. She actually thought it over. Yeah, I mean, you say something so offhand like that, of course I'm gonna think about it for a second. You say something so ridiculous, I have to just, I can't just respond immediately, because having an immediate response would mean that I thought about that answer before. So what the hell's your point? Hey, sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. Okay. Who would have been wearing it at the time of the murder? It was the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart. Shot through the heart by a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. Oh, okay, yeah. Huh, interesting. Excuse you. These are not my normal evidence tactics. I'm guessing smell. Let me real quickly. La la la. Special was wearing when taken in. Okay, but what about? Where is that statement? No, not that statement. I have 2 coat statements. Huh. Yep. But where is his statement? Where is his statement? Like, just fucking scroll back up the fucking... Yeah, that's as far back as it goes. Nope, alright. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, never remember. If it's another, okay, if it's another Ace Attorney-like game, then put some info about it into the Discord server. I will review it at some point. Maybe throw it in as a break game between stuff. Smell, I guess. Yeah, let's go with smell. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what detail it was that was given about the rain. Like it was muggy out. It was like, was it? What detail would that? Just do it in general. We'll figure out. I'll figure out a game suggestions channel later. That's definitely something that I am now thinking of. I should have, but oh well. But yeah, what was the detail from when he was outside? It was like, was it wet? Was it rainy? I don't remember. And it's not, doesn't appear to be any of my evidences. What, the gunpowder, I guess? I don't remember it saying. Isn't there? Well, so, smell then, I guess? Honestly, smell's the only thing, because if you look at it, you see blood. If you feel it, you feel blood. What am I... Smell then? Okay, yeah, which is this? I cannot wrap my head around what these are supposed to be, because I don't have evidence that links me to any of those things, I don't think. Like, this is just a little bit too out there, you know? Like, I don't have smell evidence. Why do I also have 2 separate entries for his coat? Smell. Okay. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dried blood. Exactly, the coat smells like blood, but doesn't smell of Cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell this jacket. If you would, let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. What? Okay, so gunpowder, you can smell it on a jacket. First of all, this game did not tell me that part explicitly. Second of all, I don't know guns that well. So you can just smell it? I know there's like gunpowder. I know from TV that there's gunpowder residue somewhere on, that can be found, but like that would be a forensic detail, which wasn't one of the options. Like it said that there wasn't any, which I don't know, whatever. What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me. Then what have you can't, girl, you've been calling me old this entire time. GSR has a smell? Okay. I've definitely fired guns before, and I've never noticed a noticeable smell before, but sure. I don't fucking know. But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder is weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff, hard to store, prone to misfiring, and when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms, like the ones we carry, use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You're talking my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one, it'll leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat. If you don't trust your nose, you can check the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder on the client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes, washed off, changed clothes, then got blood on him. Sure, yeah. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when the officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flatt is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them, but that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit things were a little dicey there at times. Sure, as long as it's like the first case and it's not like heavily info spoilery. But like, just a summary of it, fine. But yeah. Once I was able to grasp the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say, did she get a message? Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks. But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting, and right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Wanna bet? A photo of the shooter. If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. But I doubt she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. No, she's bluffing. She's gotta be bluffing. The system was down. That's a bold bluff for this late in the game, Detective. Especially when we both know that there was an optics blackout during the shooting. Well, that's just it. This isn't from optics. I should have figured she wouldn't make a claim like that bold without something to back it up. Huh. Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. That's nothing. Well, okay, the quality is lacking, and yet there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. What are the goddamn chances? No, with the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are, well, it's a little bit blurry. Don't look at me. I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone, probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on, and so he managed to get the shot through the window. Dystopic! Oh, you couldn't win that one, by the way? Cool. Okay, fair. I would have lost either way. That's fine. But, fuck dystopic, that confirming that the cameras are always recording on your phone. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that could enhance this image any further and could count the pixels on one hand. You kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. Can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image. And there's no way in hell you could get this past a judge. Yeah, you're probably right, we couldn't. But I think I know a DA that could. Either way, doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon. That photo? What the hell is happening to me? I think I know a DA that could... Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know had their left-hand fingerprints all over that gun? You're referring to my client? You think? Let me see. Can I look at the photo again? He does seem to have a right arm, but I guess... Huh. Yeah. We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight. So he must have shot with his left. Yes, and we've also established that he's weak with his left arm. Left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics'll never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get where you were going, you somehow end up dry. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which to say, before a judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo's real. If both are true, that means that photo doesn't show what it appears to show. So I lost words? Never. I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly. Positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we de-anon the phone's owner and ask them where, we bother with any of that. Why bother with any of that? Through the window, across the... Yeah. Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shoots from the room's doorway. Front entrance to the apartment faces the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter. Ooh. What's this? Ooh, Pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window. From the north. If this is from the north, then why can we clearly see the... It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must live on the other side of the street. Just looking into the bedroom from the north window. Are we... There's the clock there. Mirror! Mirror! Haha! It's in the mirror, so it came... So if it's... Through here, then? Because there's a clock up there. Or maybe over here, because again, the... Is this a window, or is this a window? Because it's one of these directions, because it was in the mirror, so it's not a left-handed person, it's a right-handed person being shown in a mirror. Boom. I'll have to remember that for the future when it comes up and is actually relevant for the case. Well, you know, for the game. It's relevant for the case right now, I just can't. Oh. I think I can prove it even more. Because... Fuck, where is it? Right. Well, no, that clock's just... Okay, No, okay. So this is the clock, and then that's the mirror. Okay, so the clock is correct, but that's still a mirror, right? Yeah. Yeah, window on the west. Yeah. Okay. Clock with the mirror next. Yes, because there was a mirror next to the clock. No, because Yeah, the clock there, because the mirror. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Whatever. I know. It'll work out. It'll work out. So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window. So if she's wrong, I should seize on the opportunity to start turning the tide. She's wrong. The photo was taken from the west. Yep. But that's simply not possible, detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west. What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? The good detectives are misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this is taken from the west? The autopsy tells that the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARC status tells the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And... Alright, yeah, I gotta raise it, but with which... Ooh. As long as you consider... Make up more credit for trick your hands down the line. Okay, cool. Save. Just, you know, just in case. I'm gonna... To the max? Okay, that's the max right now? Alright. The statement. Well, yep. Just take one look at the clock in that photo. Only +3? Ugh. Fair. The clock, what about it? The clock, huh? Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong. No. Yeah, the time of death is correct. No, yeah. It's a good question, Detective London, but the answer is no. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree the time of death was 9 p.m. Right, no mistaking that. So then, what the hell were you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock. 9 p.m., the time of the shooting. The hell's so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads, but do you remember where the clock... do you remember there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. That makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. And my client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. What the hell is that supposed to mean? An artistic rendition. Some very distinct. Girl, you need to get a little better at drawing. I mean, I think it gets the gist across, I suppose, but like a little bit better, just a little bit. You know, just keep practicing, girl. Yeah. Just keep practicing. Yeah. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the arcs and show you let's see. And show you my hand? Just because Discovery Law compels us to share info, it doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred, then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim that the clock's still on the eastern wall when it would have been knocked down during the fight? You got your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. onto the... Yep, of course. Wait, first let me... There we go. Glass shards, what about them? Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. Boom! And not under it. If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got crashed. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So, what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? That this was personal, things had gotten complicated. Shit happens. Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards, he still shot her. And we have a photo right here. I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Huh? Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger. It's difficult. And maybe more importantly, for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Because the man in the photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. Mirrored, yeah. Yeah. The glass is fine. No, that room was tossed. That clock was... Yeah, which means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit? That's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You've been playing your cards too early, and now I can't steal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What you're seeing is... the mirror! Wahahaha! I just want to look, you know, okay. Yep, there. You're trying tying the glass shards again? Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure, they came from a standing mirror. Yep. Mirror that at the time of the shooting stood across the room from the western window. But then that would mean at that angle from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer taking aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. He hasn't worn his rentals since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved that my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Damn. Haha. Got ya, suckers. That should be the end of it, except so it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk Cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold, sweat, hot palms kind of fever, the impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, Detective, I'm well-versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. Turn that down just a smidge. Police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, you received photographic evidence. One moment. I need to turn this down again. There you go. See photographic evidence, and instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. He couldn't have had a backup arm. He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit. Ah. That's the best you've got? Even a bare-bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it to a clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for full spectrum scanning of the entire building at 100 meters around at minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Yeah. Well. Any objections? Detective? God damn it. Fold. Aha. Show me your hand, Flat. You're uncuffing me. In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now, I gotta go call the DA and tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, Cade, you should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah, that's kind of you to say, Detective, but my work is its own reward. Yeah, sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor. Sure. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal, and there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay! But what am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation in Heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No, that's not what Diane being gone is bad enough, but a serial killer, it's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but I know what you mean. Can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There's some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself to try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos. But it's my job to... No, I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. What, is she the Heartbreak Killer? Yeah, alright. Blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place, easy to find, hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain unfurling towards an invisible sun, a perfectly unique bloom, only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular, universal meaning, vitality at its climax, bursting forth in a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite at the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of low-brow appeal. Shit, alright. We are playing the serial killer. Alright, fine, fair. We will be getting back to this at a future time, but you know, yeah. 8:59, June 4th, alright. Bullet number 6 of 6, the gun's empty. It's useless to me now, may as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. So your Heartbreak, alright. Oh, favorite dish, Mapo tofu. Cannot carry a tune. Hobby, batting cages. Dislikes noisy people, mud, headphones. Likes high places, gambling, guns. So wait, do we have Morgan and Heartbreak? Okay, two different. Alright. Whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untagged gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark in here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did you think I was her boyfriend, back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey, yeah, did you hear that? Those old pieces are so goddamn loud. People aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood, but I didn't see anything I could use as even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces, in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash, but this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So the corpse has a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window there. There are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. For the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner, ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it, probably more tasteless bullshit. Toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. If I can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but, Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All the threads and breakdowns and the goddamn theory crafting. And all for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. Ooh. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people will come up with something. That he got rejected 1 too many times or whatever. Me, I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. Ooh, damn. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I had just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it might have irritated me to no end. Now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. Girl! The air is weighty tonight, thick, energized, a heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off when the steam lingers, yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that, but you know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. 5:01 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Alright. Sorry, using my left is still... That's okay, you can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation, got in a bit after 11. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching, made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for a public defender work came up. Decent rate, since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. Gamble. Quote, did you know how to start gambling? How to bet? Okay, yeah, sure. Gambler with a system must be, to a lesser or greater extent, insane. Alright, well, that's a great thing to come up for gambling. Yeah, furthest thing from a cop. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too, but easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course... But easy isn't dangerous, right? That was... Easy is dangerous? Whatever. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans, depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes, more heartaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one one open and shut in haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now, Heartbreak can just starve to death out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might have even overdone things here or there, like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. Fair. Yeah. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked, but obviously everything turned out rosy, and it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities failing from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too. Funny, I didn't even know her name. Shit, psychopath. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just... Honestly, is it wrong of me that she's hotter now? Is that bad? Like... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died, death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me. Tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. Oh yeah, whatever she was holding, I guess. I don't know. You can make sense of it. Yeah, the pill bottles. Meds for modern, non-lethal doses present. What is the... Where did you find that? The pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky class, too, for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medication for the week. To my eyes, anyway. Fair. Okay, so we're flashing back to the murder now. Wait, no, sorry. 5:01 a.m. No, yeah, this is now. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why? Why did I even bother? Well, I wanted to know what it was blue, so it was special dialogue. I wanted to know what it was. That's why. It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. Gun's in custody, there's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim, there won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. And, oh, wait. And no one will ever... Found you. Ah, the toxic Yuri. This is where... This is gonna be my L. The L to my light. District Attorney Rockford. Oh yeah, no, she's L. She's L hardcore, isn't she? Yeah, that's L. That's Fem L. Shit, I'm glad L and Light transitioned. Sorry, can I try that again? I'm so fried. By all means. Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night. You're always so put together. Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise, aromatherapy, whatever you're doing. I need to steal it. God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor. The lawyer who argues for the state in court trying to prove a defendant's guilt. Yeah, no, like, she's also hot, alright? Like, this game's got it. This game's got the lesbians on lock, honestly. And despite her sometimes unkept appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill a position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at her job. And us good at home, right? Right? And hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What have they got you doing in this gun? What have they got you doing in this ungodly hours, Emma? Let's see. I got Emma's profile, right? All right. O plus. O positive. Yes. Occupation assistant. Likes coffee, toffee, hot couture. Dislikes sunburn, dead pixels, ice strain. Eggs, Benedict. Plays, chess, shogi. Idols, savant stars. Cat person, yes. Yeah. Yeah, hot. Oh, well, actually I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Well, you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No. Why would I be worried about going up against you? Oof. It's always the unintended barbs with her. So you're working with those detectives. Yeah, London and the new girl. Reyes. They've been reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill... Oops. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. Yeah. So Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here? Haha, hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Ayy! Yeah. Girl, get some sleep, but also kind of hot. I'll be honest. Too much on my end. So when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks? She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon, but I can't answer that any number of ways. I guess... Do I oversave? Maybe? I mean, yeah, that's what we used to... Yeah. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Right? Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about. His dominant arm modded with documented sensitivity. Oh my god, she's just tearing through every... Like those... Like... Alright, fine. His dominant arm modded with documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean. Yeah, honestly. Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for the ballistic entry angles. Oof. Oh, about that. Yeah, that's gonna leave some... Yeah. And probably too heavy to leave imprints. She got all that from a glance? Oof. But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed all that out the minute you walked in here. Of course. Worst part is she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, still not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, Right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is reconstruction. Yep. Profiling. Did you mean profile how to delete? Profile filtering. Trying to get your dating profile just right can be a full-time job. Let Valentine take the reign with our automated, secure, and fun, confidential tools that put your better than best foot forward and put the sexy back into finding the right match. Yeah, that's not the right kind of profiling. God, these Google searches are shit. Profile is a reconstruction of criminal psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera, or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. No, it does not get rid of their AI feature in the future. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. Sure, yeah. So this profiling is some kind of investigative technique? Theories that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poisoning guns, meanwhile, suggests they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the thing you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent, almost perfect. Highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. Yeah. A lone wolf, educated, but all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in that metaphor, I would be the... Know what I mean? Definitely. And considering the marksmanship, the detectives said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. So that mean heartbreaks in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh? Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary? These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I don't do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how do they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta-statistics analysis. Probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays. Chart out the dips in... Sorry. Technical, I know. But all this requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is... such an unpleasant thought, Emma. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it, he chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do it just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No, not that I found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. That's true. Hell, they kind of look like me. 1 second. 165, unlisted weight. Hey. Give me the victim's info again. I swear it gave me your profile at some point. I swear. Morgan, London, Reyes, flat. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Oh no, she's your type. Yeah. I mean, if I were inclined if I were the serial killer inclined kind of person, I could Yeah, yeah. Hey, girl, I'm gonna murder people that look like you for, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a serial killer. I don't actually know. Do they? Sure. What, you don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. That's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. You've got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. Yeah. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. The real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake? Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably. They threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary. I don't follow. This was the last bullet, their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Child-ish. And cowardly. And two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? No, that part's just takes one to know one. And now kiss. So to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type, in a city with an 8-digit population. Well, good luck. I don't need luck. I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan, I mean I need more crime scenes. Oh? Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't, but getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Fair enough. Woof! Okay, that rhyme was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to get out more. Or sleep more. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. So no hard feelings, yeah? No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay, just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throat. Heartbreak won't claim any more Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation, and the police will have moved on to cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bring it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it. Never finishing, but never quite quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. And as long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Nice. Mattress stores are... Yeah. Oh. Hello, who are you? Android. Okay. Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while. For how long? I'm sorry, I don't know. There's no need to look that upset over it. My face barely moved. It may as well have been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, I like that. This friend of yours, they're trustworthy? Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on, it'll be fun. Really? Really, educational too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Oh no, we're getting an Android partner, but the Android will record everything. No. All right, come on. and he shall appear. To be continued in... You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. You're a criminal defense attorney, and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next. I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. You look familiar. Were you... I don't know, whatever. Work hard, and the company will have you set for life. And after that... And after two. Can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus. So that's not just a lawyer job thing. You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too. Compared to determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. Company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long, but it's a million times more likely than the alternative that Heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing. Father said that you owed him. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart, but when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Of the Devil, Episode 1. An Idle Mind. Cool. Oh, look, my results. 2 articles, 6 profiles, 18 key terms, 17 pieces of evidence, 35 total credits earned. Yay! Nice! Purple-haired girl's trans. Nice! Finished episode 0 with 35 credits. You've also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. You also have 35 remaining store credit to spend on phone charms and case colors. Based on the highest credit you've finished this episode with... Ooh. Let's look at the concept gallery. I love concept art. How does that hair work? Huh. Yeah. Alright. Ooh, I can zoom in, too. Ooh. Okay, claw clip. Yep. Alright. And we got that guy, yeah. I could force femme. I could force femme this detective. I got her. Yeah. Yeah, I think she looks best in green. Yeah, they definitely with the green and the light spots. I think I think the yellow's not bad to match her cybernetic eye, but the blue and the teal, nah. Yellow works though, but I think the green is the best. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we got the victim and yeah. Hey girl. Oh yeah, she's a hyper competent fail girl. The oxymoron. Oh yeah. Oh, parallels on that. That's fun. And we got... Okay. Oh, so does she actually go out in, like, an outfit like this when she's Heartbreak killing? Or, well, killing. That'd be cool. That'd be nice. And the android that we don't really... Yeah, whatever. Alright, and let's see... Bonus scenarios. What's a bonus scenario? You want to interview me? It's very flattering, but aren't there more lively folks around here for you to question? Ooh. I had considered that, so I'm not your first choice. You're the first one who hasn't walked away. Come to think of it, I should probably... So what are you, 3 sizes? Have you been opening with that? Should I not? Do you have any... Ooh. Do you have any pets? Afraid not. Would need 1 or 2, or 3 promotions for that kind of thing. Are pets that expensive? Only if you care about them, yeah. Maybe if I found a place close to the park. Have you ever owned any automated dependents? Not had the chance. Would you own one if you could? Maybe one of the little vacuum ones. Anything more complicated than that is, if you find the owner's manuals intimidating, there are video-based tutorials I could show you. I'm not worried about the ease of use, don't worry. When I say complicated, I mean, it's like what I said about pets. If I only leave a goldfish in a tiny bowl, time it takes to swim half a lap, it'll have forgotten what the first half looks like. Not a very tall hierarchy of needs there, easy to please. Honestly, no, you need a bigger... Small for a goldfish is not good. You do need a big tank, you know. But, well, no one ever knows that when it comes to fish. But a cat, a dog, I don't want to be at work thinking about how bored they are sitting at home. And today's ads are a lot smarter than dogs, about most things. It's a very thoughtful perspective, Detective London. It's a moot point anyway. I need to get hit by a city bus to afford any of the new stuff Noble's selling. No, you think of the shelter generation. Sheltered as in sheltered upbringing? Or shelter in place. There was a lot of uncertainty during their childhood, so when they grew up they wanted surety, safety, stability. Wanted to know that their heat would stay on in the winter, and their politics reflected that. But that was all before my time. My generation is a little more, well, Generation Zen. That's what they called us in their think pieces. Even-tempered, mentally strong, and more than a little cynical. You disagree? It wasn't a matter of mindfulness. We just grew up without false expectations. Our vision wasn't clouded with illusions about impossibilities like homeownership or retirement. We realized early on that we'd be working right up until we... Detective? Unrealistic expectations. Yep, feel that. Some people call that hope. To say your friends, your classmates, drowning every day in that kind of mire. And then have to listen to people 3 times your age go on about how enlightened today's youth are. Gen Zen. It's not a name I'm particularly fond of. Yeah. So long have you been in law enforcement? Too long. And how long have you been with the homicide department? Not that long by comparison. Sorry, I don't mean to be overly vague. If you really want to know, I spent the bulk of my career over in arson. Was it different from homicide? Flashier, I'd say. Everyone jokes that homicides solve themselves in a city with this many cameras. Meanwhile, fraud and disinfo are so entrenched in the tech arms race they barely come up for air. But arson? Really hasn't changed much in the modern era. Fire is still very good at destroying evidence. You can't expect the drone net to sweep into burnt rubble and bring you back out the culprit's fingerprints and driver's license. It's a lot of legwork, a lot of interviewing. And since more than half of the culprits we caught were burners helping Megs commit insurance fraud, I spent a lot of time making friends and enemies in high-rise corporate boardrooms. Megs. Just slang for mega corporations, which is also just slang. At what size does a corporation become mega? It's not really about gross revenue or how many countries you operate in. If you're big enough to crush people, you're a meg. An apex predator among apex predators. Like the Otodos Megalodon of the Mycene epoch. Ooh, do they have like Meg 15 right now or something? Something insane like that? Is that a thing? The movie Meg 15? I don't know. Wait, is that where it comes from? I don't know. So why are you working in the homicide department? What's that? Why do you leave arson? The smoke. The smoke. Just got to a point where I couldn't stand the smell. Oh, is that why he didn't like the cigarettes? Alright. Let me save. Let me save here and see if I can. So it's just in case. Reyes, Carlos, and Morgan. Alright. We've got 3 other interviews. Okay, you can start now that my desktop's censored. So for the record, your full name is Farah Reyes. And how is that pronounced? Like how I just said it is. Farah Reyes. Farah. Okay. Thank you. Your birthday is October 19th. And how do you take your coffee? She makes you fetch the coffee? Figures. Wait, let me guess. Counselor Morgan takes her coffee black, no decaf, like a real psychopath. Oh, so is this the android? Are we seeing interviews in the future? Okay. Decaf, yes. Sometimes with milk. Nice. That's even worse. And you, detective? With 2 sugars and a bottle of water, now that I've got this. You mean your eye? When did you have it modded? After I learned I was getting promoted to detective, and before I realized I was getting promoted to homicide. Do you regret it? No. Would have wanted it for work eventually if it takes me a while longer to pay off than I expected. Well, I'm hardly the only person my age walking around with their debts socketed into them. I see. What are your likes? My likes? Pretty broad ask, don't you think? In that case, perhaps you'd find it easier to describe your dislikes. Small plates. Oh, I ate that dinner by 1,000 cuts shit. I see. I just like cheap people. Honestly, girl, I mean, and liars. And lawyers. Okay, like... You know, got some points, and then, you know, but yeah. Lawyers, they're smug, prideful, they bill by the minute, greed personified, like their time is so goddamn important. And they're annoying and pale. And smug. Am I a lawyer? I'm pale. I must be a lawyer. Should I put down smug twice? So what do you like, detective? Do you have hobbies, areas of interest? Well, automotive history? Maybe. Oh, could you say more about that? I guess I could talk about it a little bit. The following section has been altered from its original format. Why? It has been edited for... Oh, brevity? Time? Yeah. Aquid was supposed to be a luxury version of a pickup truck. As if there's a market for that. It's so stupid, I love it. And... Ixtrachrome, a purplish, bluish, chromish color. The copper was so intense that just mixing the paint was illegal for... Naturally, aspirate. Can you imagine? I see. Do you want to car yourself? Girl is so... I think that was the most endearing thing I've seen her do this entire game. She's not been exactly super likable, like, you know, super happy, but, like, girl's got her autistic fixation. I respect that. It's kind of hot. Yeah. You're joking, right? I'd rather eat asphalt than buy an EV with my hard-earned money. Oh! Following session was altered. It has been edited for time. Strong language. 4 rotors in a computer chip? That's not engineering. That's barely even programming in. As if acceleration was all that mattered. Any race longer than 2 seconds in. Simulated engine noise? And... Who in their right mind... And okay, that's a new slang word. New slur word. I believe that fills out your dislike section, so what is your favorite drink? Dark and stormy's pretty good. How do you make that? Ginger beer, rum, and a lot of lime juice. You putting together a recipe book or something? Who's your hero? Well, that's one's easy. Detective Kasim London. Of course. Oh, should I relay your sentiment to him? I'm sure he'd love to hear them. Somehow I doubt that you'd get the tone right. Very well, in that case, what are your 3 sizes? My what? The measurements for your bust, waist... Oh, girl, you can't just... Not... Yeah. What the hell are you getting these questions from? I designed my interview process to extract all the same kind of facts that are most commonly listed online. On what websites? Open source, collaborative, community-focused databases. You mean like a wiki? Would you prefer to skip this question? Tell you what. If you can find a single person who does answer that question, I'll give you mine down to the millimeter. Okay. Yeah. Alright, let's interview Carlos, and then we'll get a Morgan interview. Alright. So this is like an offboarding thing, an exit interview? Yes, it is like that. Oh, well, that's sweet of Morgan, still worrying about me. How'd she know I'd be here? She didn't. Why are you here? Oh, hoping to get back some of my, some of the stuff that the public police collected as evidence. Don't tell Morgan that, by the way. Is there something embarrassing among what they seized? No, it's just, I'm guessing as my lawyer. Is she still my lawyer? Well, as a lawyer, she'd probably know that the exact right form to get this stuff back, but it's okay. I wanted to do this for myself. Why is that? Conquer my fears, maybe. Last time I came here, I was dragged in, strong-armed. Everything was going so fast, I barely spoke. I didn't stand up for myself. If I had been able to stop and think things through clearly, well, could never have done what Morgan did, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten myself dug so deep. It must have been very upsetting, being accused of something so terrible. I'm sure you reacted just as well as anyone could be expected to. Thanks. I think. Meyer? No, it's not back yet. At this point, I might be getting better off getting an upgrade rather than waiting for my current model to get fixed. Is that allowed? Yeah, it is. Can't downgrade, can't trade in, can't opt out. But Hindi will let me upgrade anytime. Do you ever regret it? Getting modded? Sometimes. But I have a lot of regrets. Compared to some of them, buyer's remorse is... How do you deal with your buyer's remorse? Lately? Lately, I've been lying face down on the floor and exhaling. Ah, the face down approach. I know it well. It's a very, very fruitful method. Just, find a nice place, face down, pretend you're dead. Just for 30 seconds, I count to 30. And you feel better afterwards? Yeah. Yeah, fair. I mean, I've seen the protests, but I've never... There's a lot of pains being a modder. Makes sense that people would have loud opinions, want them heard. But we all made a choice. All signed the papers. I guess that's just it, huh? Not all of us made the choice ourselves. I got modded to help my career. Didn't need to get modded just in order to have one. But a lot of people did, and do. There was this guy working with us for 1 quarter. Probably a vet, but definitely didn't want to talk about it, so no one asked. Good coworker, very gung-ho, cheery, in a musclehead kind of way. It's a physical job, so there's no slouches, but he wasn't just fit, he was cut and handsome. So when he kept showing up to work with more and more mods, all of them cosmetic, I didn't get it. What's he missing? What's a guy like that want to change about himself? Got offered full-time at the end of the contract, but he said he needed something that paid better. Turns out he'd blown every paycheck at elective surgeons. A pal of mine in HR said he had given his insurance info to 6 different clinics in the span of 4 weeks. Word is, he wasn't even using the pain pills, sold them to some of the drivers for extra cash. That's the worst I've ever seen it. Grafting runaway, or plastophilia, or whatever they're calling it now. But it's not the only time I've seen it. It's not like there's no incentive for it, because there are plenty of megs out there that see people hurting like that and think, there's an ideal worker. Yeah. So, you work for Morgan, and wow, lawyers must make more money than I realized. Wait, are you here to give me the bill? How much do I owe? You don't owe her anything. Her services were paid for by the state. And I happen to be forbidden from handling any kind of financials, due to an ongoing dispute about what constitutes essential office supplies. Okay. I hear you. Diane was always the money smart one. Pretty strict, actually. Unless she saw a fidget tubby on the shelf. You could see her eyes light up. Could hear her huffing like she'd won the lottery. They're ugly, cute, babe. And I would say, well, you're cute, babe. Aww. Believe it or not, she thought I was pretty suave. Alright, now we got the Morgan interview. This is gonna be the best one. Gotta be. Yes. You're gonna interview me? Here? You did say I need to practice asking better questions. But right now, because you said the police would be making us wait so they feel more important for the next 20 minutes, is there some more productive way we could spend that time? I was planning on napping for 20 minutes? In the lobby of a police precinct? I can fall asleep anywhere. It's one of my many hidden talents. You're gonna write all this down. Could you start with your name for the record? Morgan. And your first name? You should know by now that no one calls me by my first name. Morgan's her last name? Okay. I wouldn't want to force the issue. How long has that been the case? As long as I care to remember. Then what do your parents call you? The tumor. Oof. That's not good. That was a joke. Oh, maybe we should have started off with someone a little more your speed. Who better to start with than you? Someone who likes talking about themselves? You seem to talk about yourself as much as anyone else does, or more. I tell people things about myself, it's different. Because you're lying? Now you're getting it. It's not very polite to lie. On the contrary, telling the truth is usually rude. I'm not sure your clients would appreciate that sentiment. We're not talking about my clients, we're talking about manners. We're supposed to be talking about you. Look, the sooner you learn this, the better. When people ask how you are, or what you've been up to, they're not looking for anything nearly so heavy as the truth. They're just following the template, and the polite thing to do is for you to follow the template as well. Here, let's practice. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Way too late. The whole point is to be on autopilot. Now you've forced them to grab the wheel, check their mirrors, and no one's ever grateful for the extra workload. You can be very cynical about these kinds of things at times. I'm just trying to teach. I'm just trying to tell you that people are fundamentally lazy. So if you want to be a social butterfly like me, try not to make them work too hard. Fundamentally lazy? Do you think people are fundamentally good too? Obviously. If they weren't, they wouldn't be so easy to trick. Ooh. So you're planning on answering any of my questions about yourself? I've still got time to kill. Fire away. Will you be honest? I wouldn't want to be rude. When is your birthday? Wait, you're not trying to guess my passwords, are you? I would never commit identity fraud. Not the worst way of going about it, actually. December 26th. The 26th, that's almost Christmas. But Christmas isn't... But almost Christmas isn't Christmas. But almost Christmas means it's not Christmas. Okay, yeah. Your insights are always so original. Did you receive your presents on your birthday or on Christmas? What do you mean? Did you not celebrate Christmas in your family? We did. So did your parents give you presents on the 25th or the 26th? Didn't get presents, did you? Well, I got Christmas presents on Christmas, and I got birthday presents on my birthday. Obviously. Are all your questions going to be this strange? Okay, well... Is it lit or not? Yeah. All your questions going to be... Yeah. What is your favorite color? Are all your questions going to be this juvenile? If you prefer something weightier, do you volunteer? No. Do you donate? Yes. What causes do you donate towards? Endangered wildlife. Oh, nice, good. What's with the face? It's on auto renewal. I just haven't canceled it yet. You've mentioned a mentor figure before. No way I ever called her a mentor. A busybody, maybe. World record holder for billable hours spent under the influence, perhaps. Or just, you know, the cougar from hell. I wouldn't... If she had rubbed off on me in any way, I'd have hives. I see. Is she a smoker? Oof, she was a smoker. Leslie, do you know your three... Oh, yeah. That's private. You value privacy very highly, don't you? Well, like everyone else doesn't value it enough. Water's rising. The world's getting smaller, literally. Less real estate to go around. And everything's connected to everything else. These days, just wanting some time or space to yourself is considered selfish or worse. Only the guilty have something to hide. I don't like that phrase. Laws like a Mob Act have made it so anonymity and privacy are luxuries. Privileges, reserved for the privileged. And if anyone below that tax bracket tries to claw away a little bit of it for themselves, well, it can only be because they're guilty, right? Is that why you became a criminal defense attorney? To defend people's innocence? That's private. Girl, that's good. Just keep, you know, that's privating everything, you know? Alright, yeah. Hey girl. Alright. Well, it is 2 a.m. for me. We're not going to do episode 1 tonight. I actually didn't think episode 0 was going to be that long. I figured that since it was episode 0, it would actually be kind of short, and then episode 1 would take most of our time. I was actually planned to be on a little late because I knew the episode 1 and then some more. I should have actually looked into this, though. Episode 0 was like a full episode length of its own. Who knew? So, coincidentally, though, I don't really have Lego sets for tomorrow, but it will be a much different time for stream. So, I will figure out, I might, we'll see exactly how things shake out, but I might do episode 1 tomorrow. If I don't do episode 1 tomorrow, there's a very slim chance I'll do it next Sunday. But, you know what, let me just... Doop. Episode 1's pretty long, too. Like, longer? Like, longer than episode 0 was? Or just, like, also, like, the same length, you know? Because I'm expecting it to be about the same length as episode 0. Maybe a little bit longer, but, like, you know, roughly comparable, right? But either way, it doesn't change. Doesn't change my plan. Yeah, don't gotta rush to it. I might do it. I might do more tomorrow. Oof, longer. Yeah, I might do more tomorrow. There's a very slim chance I'll do episode 1 next Sunday. But honestly, what's more likely going to happen is if I don't do it tomorrow, I'm going to save episode 1 until after I finish the second Phoenix Wright game. And then whenever episode 2 releases, I'll do episode 2 after whatever Phoenix Wright game I finish, next. Like, if it comes out when I'm doing, like, the 5th Phoenix Wright game, I'll do episode 2 after I finish the 5th Phoenix Wright game. I'm not going to just take a break right then. I'll just finish, at the end of the game. 4-ish? Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what today was. 4-ish hours. So yes, I might do it tomorrow, but that's also partially because I don't actually have anything to build tomorrow. Timing, things didn't come in on time. I'm supposed to get my next Lego shipment on Tuesday. Of course. I'm gonna. If for anyone who's been paying attention, I haven't been doing Star Wars Lego sets recently because I've been not getting the Star Wars sets because May the 4th sale was coming up. Well, the May the 4th sale started. I bought some Star Wars sets, and they're coming in just a smidge too late. But there was nothing I could do about it. I got them as quick as I could. It's just shipping times. I could have paid to get it rushed, but I was really hopeful because I was like, okay, it should. It's just Windows, just Oh well. But I have 4 Pokemon and Wordle. That's currently was the plan for tomorrow, and I was gonna figure it out. So Of the Devil is probably what we're doing tomorrow, but I still haven't settled on it because I didn't think I'd have Of the Devil to play, but I am concerned because, of course, it's a different time bracket entirely from when I normally play games. I want to make sure y'all who are really here to watch Of the Devil, who really enjoy it, I want to make sure y'all actually get a chance to watch episode 1, Yeah. Well, I also need to start something on Wednesday. Oh! Yeah, on Wednesday I'm going to be playing a game about digging a hole. I already decided on that one, I've remembered. We finished Bounty Hunter last week, so next week will be this Wednesday will be a game about digging a hole. Just so you know. If anything else more comes up, if anything, I will post about it. I'll put it in the Discord server. Just link down there. Heck, if I can get 2 more followers before tomorrow, that's what we're doing, just for the record. Like, if I can get the fucking Smasher Pass, it's done, I'll do that. Honestly, I was really hoping just to get that out of the way and get that in on the timing. That would have been nice timing, but I'm still 2 away. Sorry, y'all. Would have been great timing. Never that lucky. Which just did imply I actually want to do this. Gah. I want to filter. I want to have time. I want to have something to do tomorrow. Don't really want to do the Smasher Pass though. Whatever. All right. Well, it's been lovely, my stars. Thank y'all for hanging out and spending time. Yeah, normal time tomorrow's stream should be normal time, 3 p.m. for Monday. It's normal time for Monday, which is 3 p.m., which is early compared to my other 2 stream times, but it's because I don't work, like, on Mondays, and because it's not a weekend day, it's just, it works out nice to do it that, yeah. Honestly, before I move, because I will eventually be moving, but before I move, I will probably have a couple months where I'm in a limbo state where I'm not working. I will probably have entirely different stream times for those couple months. and I will figure that out. If anyone has any suggestions for better times that I'm, than what I have been doing, let me know. Let me know. This is not a next month, right around the corner kind of deal. This is in the future. I don't know. Like I said, I got a Discord server. Let me know. Literally anything. You want to talk? We talk. All right? But yeah, well, I hope y'all have a good night, and thank y'all. My stars are my lovelies.